Hello, my name's David Ballman. I'm co-founder and chief operating officer for Kayaking Ecstasy. This is a phantom company created by our group for a class project in an advanced accounting class at Trident Technical College in Charleston, South Carolina. This presentation will review the operational results of the first 3 months that we're in business. But before I start with that, I'd like to ask if anybody has heard of the origami kayak. No hands? Well, that's probably because it's new technology that has only been out about a year. So since nobody's heard of this, let's take a minute and look at a picture and discuss its unique qualities. The origami kayak, it's called an oru kayak, but it's origami because it's a folding kayak. You fold it and it folds into its own carrying case, and when you unfold it, it turns into a kayak, and with one seal across the top that's above the water line. When it folds down, it can fold into a backpack, which will fit in the trunk of your car. You can carry it, or you can put it as a backpack. The durability, it allows for 20,000 folds, which statistics say people do 10 kayaking trips a year. 10 into 20,000 folds is 2,000 years. Even if somebody did 100 tours a year, it would be 100 into 20,000, which would be 200 years. So either way, it's a life purchase. So this is why our group decided to use this product, because of its revolutionary new technology. It's lightweight, it weighs only about 25 pounds. You can fold it into a kayak in about 10 minutes. You don't need to put it on the roof of your car or in a truck. It goes right in your trunk. So let's look at the numbers. We had 8 business objectives in our business plan, and we'll review them here and then we'll go in detail. The first one is capital requirement. The next one is capital assets, the purchases of assets. The first month's income and advertising is marketing elements. Long-term objectives, net income and cash flow and sensitivity analysis to see where we fall into the 3 scenarios, which we'll discuss in a moment. The first capital requirement, we wanted to raise $46,000 to get this venture off the ground, and we didn't want to borrow more than $40,000. So each co-founder was going to have to put $2,000 in for $6,000 and $40,000 loan. When we got the loan, we put the money in and we were on our way. The capital assets, we had to buy kayaking packages, which was the kayak, the folding paddle, and the life preservers. And the kayaks were a little more than we had originally expected, so we were about $7,000 over, with about a 20% overage in cost. The same 20% for the equipment, because there were some upgrades that we didn't think about. So even though we were 20% over in our purchases, we had enough money to do it, and we did not have to go seek more funds. The next objective had to do with revenues. We wanted to get $10,000 the first month, and you can see we came very close to that. The only expense we looked at with an objective was the advertising. How much money did we want to spend? We originally said 10%, then it increased it 1% to 11%, but when we went into operations, we only did 10%, as you can see, and so we were under by 1%. The long-term objective, we wanted to generate about $11,000 a month the first year and have a growth rate of 34.5%. You can see that the first month we were a little short, the second month we exceeded, and the third month we exceeded even further. So at 160% of the initial income, we're well on our way of meeting both the income and the growth rate. The next objective was the net income before taxes. You can see that we had 98.8%, which was just a little bit shy of our goal. The next month we exceeded that quite a bit, and the third month we almost doubled our projection. So we were doing very well on our income projection. The cash flows, the only reason we fell behind in the beginning is because we had that $7,000 in excess assets that we didn't plan on. but by the third month we were caught up. The sensitivity analysis, you can see that all 3 months were very close to what we planned. In a recap of our objectives, we met all the objectives except the advertising, which we missed by 1%, and the cash flow that we were under because of the assets that we had to pay more for. The group had to be audited by another group, and they had 3 concerns with our operations. They figured that our business plan underestimated our income because we used a 4-week month, and there's actually 4.33 months in weeks in a month. So the reason we did it our way is that our touring business only makes money when we do a tour. So we don't have to go by days. We looked at 4 tours a week for 4 weeks, and that gave us our monthly income, and we were right on target, so we did not feel we had to change our business plan for that. The second concern was a health waiver. If you get liability insurance for a water activity, you have to have a health waiver, and so we didn't provide that document because it's a mandatory requirement. The last concern was the auditor felt that the IRS would be concerned we missed $1 of expense, and they wanted us to amend the return. We chose not to because the $1 would be in our favor if we were audited. It would just reduce our taxable income. So we left that as it was. What I learned from the class is that the business plan, the marketing, and the technology are all necessities. You have to do them. You have to conduct the research. You have to take the time to do the research and projections in order to make sure you've got the right type of marketing and you know how much you want to spend on the marketing. No business today operates without some form of technology, a computer accounting program. There's all kinds of technology in business today. So you're constantly learning new programs. You need to find out if they're interchangeable. Is your computer able to use the new programs? There's a lot of issues to look at, and you usually have an IT department. In operations, things don't always go according to plan. You have to have a good accounting system in place so that you can identify problems and correct them, and you have to analyze your accounting for future projections. Group collaboration is good and bad. You have other people to kick ideas off but you don't always get to use your ideas. But overall, it's a worthwhile thing. That concludes our presentation. We thank you for watching and hope that you enjoyed it.